All right, so we got that. Let's get some music going here. We'll get some different music here eventually. But for now, we'll just keep using the same playlist. Turn that down a bit. And let's see here. This should be maxed out. Okay. And this should be maxed out. Turn that down. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday out there. A little motivation here. Not showing the video. Whoa, sorry about that. I don't know where to put it. There we go. All right, that's what. Okay, so we've got media player. How come the media player is not? Media player for live stream. Not showing any audio. Let me know if there's any background music. Please. Media player for live stream. It's weird. The volume's up. It's just not registering. Properties. Match title. All right, well. All right, Westy says we have music. All right, perfect. How about audio or my voice? Do we have my voice? Because it shows I have my mic working. And it's turned up and I always look at it when I talk. So hopefully that's working. We're gonna get this intake off, the upper and lower. Audio input capture. Let's just double check. Yep. All right, what's going on, Westy? Hope you're having a good day. Audio seems quiet, as it always does to me. It's probably this crap microphone. I'm sure it is. Let me move it over here and I don't know, we'll just see what happens. I've got it literally mic auxiliary on the OBS Studio Max. Wait, this might help too. Hold on. Audio input capture. I wonder if that would help. Well, you just let me know if it's worse. I'm gonna crank it up some and we're just gonna have to see. Okay, cool. I'm not quite, yep, okay, yep, I get that. But now the audio input capture I cranked and I had that muted before, so now it might have an echo. Maybe not though. I just quit talking for a minute there, so. There's also a pretty good delay. That was one thing I was gonna change, was the latency on the how long it takes me to read what you say and what you say gets through to me in the video and all that stuff. We got kind of a gray, cool gray day here in southern Wisconsin. Seems the same. Okay, I'm just gonna mute that then again, and I'm gonna double check that my mic auxiliary is cranked. And we're just gonna get to work here because I gotta get this intake off. And maybe to the junkyard for another one if it's all crapped out. I think it'll be fine. I'm pretty sure it's just the gasket blown out, but who knows, the aluminum could be bad too. With metallurgy from the 90s and what, 25, 30 some years now of glycol and chemicals. What are you up to today, Westy? In any trees? Oh yeah, check this out. I wonder, it should reach. Got an ecosystem in the box. You can dry it. Look at all them different plant species. There, I don't think there's a dandelion in there. That's like some nice, oops, that's some nice, there's a wide array of possible flowers in there. Some clover. Rock on. I'm just gonna put the air intake back there. Oops, daisy, there we go. I need to round up an impact and a few other things. What's going on? We don't have any MMA fights this weekend. Some motorcycle stuff going on, but I don't keep up like I'd like to with half the stuff I'd like to. Where, oh where? I got the shop organized some over the last couple days, trying to sell some stuff, scrap some stuff, get rid of some stuff. If I can't sell it or use it or give it away per se, it's out of here. Gone. Gotta be that way. There it is. The impact was right where I left it, if anybody was concerned. We've got an 8. You can get about 13 different sizes here for Ford. It'll probably be like a 7 and maybe a 5.5. They used, this would probably just be 8s, 10s, but who knows? They like to, and GM as well. GM's not, they're not getting off scotch-free on that either. Using like a 7 and a 5.5 in the same area. Come on. Well, the microphone is charged up really good. Hopefully, I'm just going to move it around on my shirt a little bit, and maybe if anybody else watches at all, they'll say something. Grab an extension. The nut is, or the bolt is already off for this bracket. Then we're going to number these 3. And then we're going to leave those on and just kind of let it. Actually, we might just get it out of there. But it might just sit out over here. So let's just do those, that one side. in case one gets rubbed off. 2, 3, 1, 2. Multiple areas. I think we just did wires on this a couple of years or a year ago. One of the spark plugs blew out the porcelain from the metal. So I had to extract the metal from the head. The exhaust is really bad on this thing too. But we're gonna see how bad the intake is, see how long this takes to get to it, and then we kind of know what we're dealing with and can go from there. This might be loud. I'm gonna cover up the mic. One more little singular wire deal there. You little booger. And those bolts. It's like semi-welded. They do that. Or my thumbnail just isn't what it used to be. Alright, let's roll it over and see if we're missing one. No. There she goes. This might just be able to kind of sort of hang out. Yeah. Just live there for the duration of time for the moment. Take off the throttle cables next. Open up some space there. And get a needle nose and a sawzall, air hammer, torch, bandsaw. Get one of those portable bandsaws, and those things are pretty nifty. Push that in and lift up gently. Maybe not. Yep. This one here we're gonna push, squeeze, pull that through. We got a big old conglomeration of what is going on here. Take that off first. See what's going on. What is all this? Okay, so we take the tension off of that to be able to pry that down a little bit off of that. And now we can pop this little deal. Good thing I have this on video so I can remember how that goes. That's probably the hardest part of it all. No, I doubt it, but there we go. I knew if I popped that little thingy off, it would go into the abyss. We would never see it again. We'll just put this down in there, so when they say their cruise doesn't work, I'll know why. Get a little wiring harness action. Pretty much completely, tape is just, everything's falling off of that. We're gonna lighten the load there a little bit. What do we have down here? Okay, no. Little vacuum line action. Take that off of there. Come over to the other side here. Undo our idle air control valve. Put this towel over the battery. Hey Stan, hope you're doing well. Let me know. Westy said my audio wasn't the best as far as my voice, and like I said, it could be this mic, but we'll figure it out. Greetings from Florida. Greetings from Wisconsin. Hey, I guarantee I could put it back together. So if you want to come up here and take it apart, by all means, be my guest. Leave it in a big pile. I'll just walk up, clean what needs to be clean, and put it back together because, eesh, this isn't the funnest part. The funnest part is seeing it go down the driveway. But then vehicles like this always come back, not because of what you did, or like a comeback per se, like, oh, I screwed something up, but it'll be back for something else, simple or not. But at this point in its game, the motor's not going. It's definitely gonna stay alive for the time being. This EGR valve deal is really goofy. Does it just fit in there like a fit? I think it might. Ford is really interesting with some of their designs. They've really gone out of control though. This isn't bad. This is fun compared to a twin turbo 3.5 or a 2.7. Oh my God. All the chains, so many stretched chains. Let's see, this is gonna have to come off in some way, shape, or form. It's just gonna, it's like a rubber foam. That's so cool. We're gonna have to take that one. The one bolt is already broke off of here. Down here where this is. I don't know how I have the camera situated. I wish I could do split screen. I don't know how. It's all off of there, but oops, sorry. Hopefully you don't have motion sickness issues. That's pretty cool. Then I can move this one. The sun it was really evenly shaded a bit ago. Everything was just gray. Yes, the last 2 days have been solid rain. I think Monday was gray, Tuesday, Wednesday, rain, both days, all day. A nice, steady, good rain. We needed it so bad for the farmers, and now I can have my door open for a day and not have too much dust blowing around, which is awesome. Thank you. Voice sounds good. The funnest part is turning the key and having it actually start. Yes, that is the funnest part. And I had a message. Oh, I get one in about 30, one in about 50 people will reply or say, hey, got the whatever home, runs really good. Thank you so much. I got one of those the other night, and I should send her a message out of the blue and say, you know what, Ingrid, thank you for that. That made my day. Sent me a message and said that her husband just got, yep, looks like an 8, but it's probably 7/32, 9/64. She said, yeah, thank you. You did a great job. Husband was out using it. Super happy. That was it. And that was just really nice. And I'll do that too. Sometimes I'll go to a place to eat, or, oh, where did I do it the last time? I don't know, it's probably been a while. Maybe I need to do it again. But you go to somewhere and you have really good service, I'll call them back like an hour later and say, hey, I talked to so-and-so there a little bit ago. My experience was really good. And that person should get a pat on the back, because I don't think people do get enough recognition. Yeah, you like that, Westy? We're moving up in the tech world a little bit here. I'm trying to figure it out. There we go. This is probably the one where I'll be at next. I can't see what my computer is in the shop, and I walk beyond the wall. Now I can't see it. And I would use an air ratchet normally for a lot of this stuff, but it's a really nice quiet day out. Wish I had a microphone set up on one of these, but because all winter long it's just so dead silent. So nice to hear the birds a chirping, and we got EGR, vacuum supply, jeepers. But people always used to complain about vacuum and this and that. I don't know. I'd almost take a vacuum brick or a vacuum block of emission controls versus 3 layers of CAN bus systems all talking to a bunch of control modules that don't know who each other are, to a bunch of sensors that were made in a different country when the stuff was designed, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I think that's about it for this upper. We're gonna, oh boy, that one's, someone cross wedgied this one in there a bit. There's a gap there, unless there's supposed to be. I don't think there is, but be loud. I'm trying to cover the mic. Oh, that's really cross-threaded. I gotta take it off so I can get to this nut. We need to move that a little bit out of our way. Grab a little itty bitty channel locks for these. Probably end up getting rid of this turd spring clamp. But again, if it's still springing after 30 years, I would, I don't know, I'd trust it. And again, I think its problems are going to be a bit It's a local truck. It doesn't go down the road too far. Owned by a local goat farmer, goat milker. Westy, you know any good jokes about goats? And there's a few, but I don't think they're YouTube appropriate. Someone told me one about at the dump a few weeks ago, a really funny joke regarding that, but we'll save that for when we have some beers in person. Getting fancy, trying to mix it up a little bit, or just try some different things. The problem is with the cameras, if I use a wireless camera, I can't do the split screen. These are just two crappy webcams that I found at the dump over the years. Literally just, oh, there's a webcam like laying in the garbage. So I pull it out and it works totally fine. I mean, I honestly don't know how fine it really works because I'm not on your end, but for what we're doing here, we're not doing artwork, so to speak, and it is a sense of art, but not really. It's might be an art form in the fact that you got to be borderline nuts to deal with the possible boredom that this field may, I don't know. I'm just burnt out with cars in general. Not this though. This is exciting because it's cool and older with push rods and simple fuel injection, simple EGR, simple emissions. Nothing's too crammed in there where you can't get to too much. We'll see how my, yep, that's a 13, not a 12. Why would I think it's a 12? It's a Ford. It's never going to be the size you think it is. And if you don't work on enough of them, it's hard to kind of memorize, or not memorize, because if this was a Nissan, oh, look at that, the 14 was in the 13 spot. Let's see here, that's a 12 in the 14. Looks like I need to do some organizing. Or I could just blame it on my son, blame it on the shop gnomes. All right, now that I've gone through this, my 15, 13, and 11 are not where they should be. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's lose. Ooh. Hiding back there. One hiding back here. Oh, we'll get a wobble for those back too. Westy says, unfortunately, I don't have any good goat jokes. Got a funny story though. You know, Wool Black, oh yeah. I forgot what chat we were in. I could probably take it from there, but he said duck things are nightmare fuel. Okay, he said duck dicks are nightmare fuel, right? B, I said cocks don't have. Hey, that's true. That's very true. So I said to him we should get a beer sometime. What did Crystal say about that? What did Crystal say? That's that's funny though. Whoa, Black Betty, that's a pretty good name. Before, let me see here. Before. right before I said, I gotcha. Okay, that makes a little more sense if I read it out that way in my head. Probably not going to read it out again, not because this is PG-13, but no. She's been MIA a little bit lately. A little bit, I guess. She stops into the morning chat with Moto and those guys every now and then, but she's got a little one like me, and my little one's not so little anymore. Definitely keeps me on my toes as much as if he were a little one. Ooh, that was tight. And there's one more way. No? All right. Thank you, Ford. Westy, you drive a Jeep XJ, right? The older XJ, the square body, straight six. I thought that's what you said you drove, was an older XJ. They're such amazing vehicles. Someone just made a YouTube video about those and how, well, there's been a handful of YouTube videos made on the Jeep Cherokees and even the Grand Sports and stuff when they fancied them up still when they were legit. Of course, Stellantis got their hands on them. But either way, I thought that's what you said you drove at one point. We know Stian's always cruising in that bus. Probably not always. Wonder what Stian's daily driver is. I ran into a guy the other day at the gas station. He had this white Subaru Legacy. It was really clean. It was white, like a 2000. And I noticed the steering wheel was on the other side. Said, did you just import this thing? He goes, yeah, I did. I imported it last month. Yes, a Lincoln Continental. Nice. 2019. So do you have, what motor package is in there? Because they offered quite a bit of different. They offered maybe a 3, or is that just a, did they offer a V8? No, they wouldn't have in that. That'd be your V6, right? V3.5 twin turbo. I'm thinking of the MKZ. 2019 Lincoln Continental. Okay, the 2.7. Those things are just insane rippers. They really do rip. No arguing there. They get up and go. And that's a nice ride. And it's going to give you a really nice ride. I think I'm going to sneeze, taking the mic off. I want a Lincoln Grand Marquis with a, like from 99 to 04 with the 4.6. I think those were probably your best. Or a Caprice Classic with a 5.7. That era would be really cool. What am I over here for? Did I already grab it and then? Okay, here we are. And I'm over to the chat. They were all V6, 3.7 NA, 2.7 turbo, or the 3.0. Okay, I did a bunch of work on a 3.0 turbo at a Ford dealer a couple of years ago when I worked at a dealership for a short while just to put everything into perspective quickly for me. But to get the 3-liter, you need to order it with the all-wheel drive, and I didn't need that. Oh, good choice. This one was all-wheel drive. The yeah, and his PTO is going to take a crap, so that's something you don't have to worry about. Your PTO, your rear diff, Alaska, Newfoundland. Grand Marquis was a Mercury. Yup. What would have the Ford been of that? The Ford. Did they make? Yeah, they made the Crown Vic. Town car, there you go. Yes, the Panther was the town car. Sounds like Steen is a bit of a Ford guy. Sounds like we got a Ford guy in the chat. That's okay. Because after all these years of being in this field, I don't care what you drive, as long as you're happy and you find value in it and you think, you know, and it makes you feel like you got a good vehicle and you made a good choice. At the end of the day, it's really all that matters. And cost. Some people economically can't afford certain, what's the word? Tiers. I'm a 3rd tier automotive car buyer. I buy cars that are on the 3rd owner, not the 2nd. So I am what you would call a 3rd tier automotive buyer. Typically in that free to $1,000 range. And that's gonna be my next YouTube video is gonna be, sorry about that noise there. Next YouTube video is gonna be about the unprecedented value I have gotten out of my Toyota Sienna over the last 6-8 years. And videos like that seem to have been doing really good on YouTube lately. Seem to be doing really good. So with that said, I'm gonna do it. It's in the works. And a couple weeks I'm gonna be getting a newer Sienna. All the stud is stuck. That's why it lifted it up like that. But we'll get her. There we go. That stupid EGR tube. Oh my gosh. I forget how stupid they are. They bend them and route them way up inside the intake. And you got to contort it in all these weird, or you probably have to take it off the exhaust manifold, but it is just a rusted nightmare down there. I forgot about that. Come on. It ought to go. Need a Ford guy in the chat to tell me what angle of the dangle. There we go. I'll remember that. Not. Yes, time for an EGR delete. I love it. I do like my Fords, but I've also owned a Corvette and a Cadillac and even a couple Mopars, plus Japanese and German cars. I seem to lack loyalty. Hey, I'm in that same boat. I owned a C4 Grand Sport for a little while. Me and Junior did some autocross with it. It wasn't the blue and white Grand Sport, but it was the collector's edition with the Grand Sport package. So it had the LT4 and a 6-speed and the kick butt brakes and suspension. It was the last year of the C4 and I loved it. And then I owned an Infiniti Q45. I don't think I've ever owned a German car at all, but I do have a Ford in the, I've got a 04 Explorer V8 rear wheel drive. Really clean. Love the Caprice. Yep, okay, red on red. Yeah, I know. Yep, should have kept all this and that, and man, I just try not to dwell on that and just say, hey, yep, if I would have kept that, I'd still have it, but who knows, maybe I would have taken it for a drive that day and it would have gotten hit by a semi, or who knows. I needed a back seat and a trunk. It hadn't yet dawned on me that I could have 2 cars. Yeah, that's another, you know, if you can swing it, go for it, man. But at the end of the day, I think the best Corvette that you could buy right now would be a fixed roof coupe C5 with the LS and whatever manual transmission you could get. But that, you said, even if you offered me a C8 right now, I would still take a C5 fixed roof coupe. Oh yeah, I'm sure you have that figured out. It looks like it. Sounds like, well, yeah, it does. You've got the bus and you've got some things figured out. I, on the other hand, I'm still trying to figure out a few things, but we figured out how to get that intake off the upper, now the lower portion. I don't know if we'll get to the bike today or not. Eesh. Now ChatGPT told me, and it lied. It straight up lied, because it said that the valve covers didn't have to come off for the lower intake. It must have thought I meant the upper, because the valve covers do have to come off, both sides. And that means that our alternator and AC compressor should be out of the way. Just gonna make life easier. We'll take the rest of these off. Spark plug wires. Get this coil pack out of the way, and we're just gonna do it. See what time it is. The watch just beeped. So it's either 1:08 or 2:08. Okay, 1 o'clock. I think the best Corvette you could buy right now is a mid-70s C3 that you can get for cheap and strip the emissions. I agree. I'm just saying, like, for me, if I had one choice right now, what car, you know, I mean, obviously it'd be smart to pick the most valuable Corvette that ever existed, get it, sell it, take that money and do better things with it. But if I just had to get, here we go. ChatGPT is as reliable as the dumbest people on the internet. It just ingests information indiscriminately and looks for patterns. Garbage in, garbage out. You are pretty right. You really are on the right track. I will say, though, with prompting it and steering it and helping it, just like a dumb person, you can get it to give you results that, I don't know, you know. No, okay, personal preference. I'm like, what's the C3 ChatGPT? No, okay. Yeah, no, I get that, man. The C3 is a really cool, I love the shape and the swoopiness. Very cool car that way. But Chat has really, like, when I have it, like this song right now, this song, Rob's Neighbor, this was made with ChatGPT helping me with the lyrics, and then I put those lyrics into Suno, and I prompted Suno using Chat, saying, Chat, please give me a list of prompts for Suno to help tune this song into how I want it. And it did really good. Yeah, and I shouldn't say that. I did not trust it blindly as far as the valve covers. Oh boy, our day is ruined. The valve covers have to come off. That's not a big deal. It's an extra half hour, but at the end of the day, I use it for very little, no technical information. The other night when Rob was down, we did a live stream with that CX. And yeah, some of I think you were in that chat, Stian, and some of the pictures it was producing. And the other day I asked it, I said, hey, can you make me a picture? Here's a picture of my van. Here's a picture of me and my son. Can you make it look like we're driving down the road, maybe some dirt bikes in the back of the van? It crapped out a picture of my 12-year-old son sitting on my lap while I'm driving a van while there's a dirt bike strapped to the top of it. And it just doesn't look good. I would never put a picture out there with any child of teenage years sitting on my lap or any, this is not a, like, come on, chat. And it's just, you really got to tell it what to do. I am definitely not in fear of robots taking my job ever in my lifetime, or possibly even my son's. I cannot, if at the very least we'll be the ones fixing the robots, because I doubt they're gonna, well, maybe they'll fix themselves, but well, I have seen Terminator. Oh, the results are just out of this world. A tiger riding a motorcycle? I can't imagine. Old Mac, now Old Mac is a master at some of this stuff. Old Mac has some really good, he can generate some pretty good art with it, and the music as well. Again, it's just, if you have to really prompt it. And I even paid, I don't admit it publicly, but I did pay for the ChatGPT like upgraded version just to try it out at 20 bucks or whatever for the month, and let's see how it goes. And there was a point after like 15 minutes I was telling it, hey, I can't believe I'm paying for this. I could go to the school and a third grader could come up with something way better and more creative with a feeling of authenticity and human touch. And that's really what it lacks, is authenticity and the human value. It can't relate to feelings. All right, so let's take the serpentine belt off. I wonder if I can just, oh yeah. A little roadside. Oh, maybe not. Oh, we're so close. One more. There we go. Off the belt. No tools required on this one. Tensioner's just weak enough. We'll undo our AC. Clutch switch. Come on. There. Pressure switch. There. It's probably not necessary to take it off, but it'll just give us a little more room. It doesn't look like it's gonna move a lot, but if we can just to have it move a little bit would help. So we're gonna get 13, crack those loose. I just don't want to impact with the possibility of hurting someone's ears. Oh, I just felt a sprinkle. Maybe we'll have to start on the bike sooner. I didn't want to pull this in because it was so beautiful. Normally I would work on a car in my shop, but plus I wasn't anticipating getting this done today, and if it needs an intake, then I can run to the run to the junkyard and yank one off of another Ranger there, hoping it might be better, because he's just not gonna, I wouldn't want to pay whatever a new, it's probably a couple $100 for a new lower intake if you can find one. this stuck on just a tad. Just a little gentle. There we go. Those little, what do you call it, collar deals. Oh, I should have had that there. That would have been better for the serpentine belt removal. Everybody could have seen that better. But it is what it is. I think this is the song Westy likes. My computer is. All right, there we go. Probably be a good idea to take the alternator loose at least and move it out of the way. I don't think I'm going to disconnect the wire on there, but the protective sheathing is not covering the positive terminal. So we're going to disconnect the battery to ensure we don't have science take place while we're working on it, even though it's a manual and I don't know if the clutch safety switch works. Something we should have probably done right off the bat, but I was expecting it to just, well, I wasn't expecting anything, so we should have just done this right off the bat. There, done. There, and now I have to get, I'm not going to be able to get that down there. So an extension. Let's see here. I didn't get all the tools put away I wanted to, but a couple of them, apparently not in the right spots either. There, and that can just sit there and be a good alternator. Yeah, you do that. Maybe we will have to disconnect that. We'll see. Shouldn't be any liquids in it, or very few. And what else do we got here? Yeesh. We'll do this coolant hose. That definitely needs to go. Oh, I need to run out and grab my phone quick. It's in a car. trying to find my phone. I misplaced my phone. Oh, I left it right here in this truck when I pulled it around. Wonder if it's... Yeah, I shut it off too. Anybody else just shut their phone off ever? I will be right back.
Another one saved, another ride reborn. Who knows what's next? Stay tuned, hit that like, and I'll see you on the next one.
All right. I'm back. Phone's never shut it off. You want me to suffer withdrawal? Phone never off. Can't be left alone to think my own thoughts, Westy says. Yeah, no, I shut it off usually around 9 a.m. and then turn it back on for a little bit around lunchtime, and then I shut it back off until I go get my son. I can't deal with the amount of calls, I guess, and I shouldn't say the amount. It makes it sound like it just rings constantly, but yep, there it goes. I just turned it back on. It'll probably ding about 15 to 25 times. And yeah, it's just, it gets to be too much sometimes. So I'm one person and I can only do so much, and I'm grateful that there's people that want me to do that much for them, but at the same time I gotta be able to get my work done. So then it allows me to focus a little bit more and not constantly married to a phone. And half the stuff on here I don't care about, unless it's, I mean, I shouldn't say that I care about it. Oh, Dean's live, Motobum. Let's raid him. Me and Steen and Westy, let's do a 2-person raid. So See, that's why I turn my phone on and all these notifications, and I know you can turn the notifications off, but and it's not the YouTube notifications that distract me, because I get that on my computer. It's the endless, hey, when can you work on this? Can you take a look at this? When can I drop this off? And then so I'll just respond to all of them at one time. Well, that's right, Dean's doing a tattoo on his daughter at his tattoo shop today. Yeah, I know though, but when I'm left alone to think my own thoughts, yeah, it's never all that great, but sometimes good things can come of it. And with that being said, I'm gonna direct everybody to, let me get his link up here, because I was gonna go till about 2 o'clock and I'll shut it down a little sooner. Because the last time Dean did a tattoo, I don't have a single tattoo. Never had one. Wanted to get one when I was younger, but didn't. And I'm glad I didn't, because now I don't ever have to regret getting one. And I'm still alive, so if I want to get one, I can. You know, that's how I look at it, I guess, as far as the tattoos. But needless to say, it was really, really fun to watch someone else get one and just have Dean talk about what he's doing, and it was very entertaining for me, and I found a lot of value in it. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. Stian, Westy, hopefully I'm not missing anybody. If there's some lurkers in the chat, I really appreciate you stopping by, saying hi, and let's go check out Dean Motobum and watch him tattoo some art. Have a great day, everyone. Maybe I'll come on later. Until then, really appreciate you. Have a great day.